Uh, hopefully Infinipede will be on chat in a moment.
Cool.
Okay. Looks
Do I have
like...
Ethan voice?
Sorry?
Is my voice off?
No, I can hear you. Hello, everyone. uh, uh,
Hello.
Infinipede is
Hello.
here as well. Okay, where's... I think I just heard myself coming out of my speakers. Why? Where is that coming from?
It's
don't
not
know.
me. I got earbuds in.
Okay.
Do you have your YouTube sound on?
I don't even have that page open on
Oh.
on my computer. But maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was just one of you that happened to sound like me. All right. So, hello, Kyle, Cinnamon, Srithon, Gano. Welcome, all of you. So today we are redesigning Krabby and the Kingler. And one of our collaborators, Banana Meteor, will not be joining us today. Will probably not be joining us today because she wasn't feeling very well. But
Because she gets sick like 100 times a year.
100 times a year,
No, not that often, but
not
she's
too
very...
often. Yeah, that's not too bad. But Infinipede, this is your concept anyway, so you're the important one here.
not that Julie's not important, but
Of course, no, Julie is very important as well. But so this is the sketch that you just sent me. It should show up on your screen any minute now.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Tell us what we're looking at.
Okay. Sorry, I just saw something in chat. Banana got hit by a meteor.
Oh no.
Alright, so let me just wait for these to come up. There we go. Yeah, so my apologies to everyone who has to see these. I am not a traditional artist. My tablet pen charger, the USB broke off in my computer, and I had to order another one, and it's like 3 days late, so what can you do?
Yeah.
I just did these with colored pencil and pen and a little cleaning up. Okay. So Krabby is pretty simple. He's a crab. Krabby
Wow.
is... Yeah. I was inspired by your Caterpie shed,
Okay.
where it had the big false eyes. And I decided to do that as well as sort of a face based on the samurai crab, which its back has these... Yeah, exactly. Somebody got it. Its back it looks like a samurai's face, or just like a guy's face with a big nose.
Yeah.
So I decided to give Krabby a false face.
Oh, I see. So the on the stalks here, those are the eyes.
Yes, those are its actual eyes. You can see kind of the reflection too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the big bulging white parts of the shell are false eyes.
Cool.
Yes. And I just did the colors mostly based on what I was doing with Kingler, but I gave it sort of mouth or mustache looking thing.
Okay.
Near where its actual mouth is.
Yeah. I did a fake mod based on a samurai crab recently, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, that's what that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it definitely is a samurai crab.
Very different approach
Okay.
though, so we're cool.
Yes.
Yeah, so how about Kingler?
Kingler is, well, its Japanese name is also Kingler, so I went and I tried to play up the king aspect, because that's something I personally never made the connection with, its back, like the spines on its back being like, oh, it's a king crab, it's a crown. Like, it just never was obvious.
Supposed to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never thought of that either.
Yeah, exactly. So I decided to play up that aspect by giving it like a fade to yellow or gold, and the little star in the middle, as well as the like water drop jewels, because when I was doing some research on crowns, I found that a lot of East Asian crowns have like these little drop jewels coming down from them. So I thought, well, you know, if it's like a samurai crab, Japanese, give them the little drop jewels. Don't make it. It's not like completely a Western type crown.
Right.
It's also got the false eyes, but they're angrier this time. It's got like the fake like face in the nose and stuff.
Yep.
Same as Krabby, but it's got more of its claws. The difference in size between its claws is much larger, because it talks about like, oh, Kingler has a massive claw that it can't lift. And when you look at Kingler's art, it's just like, well, yeah, it's like, well, they're barely different in size. And then you look at like an actual fiddler crab, and the claw is like much larger. So I went with like that shape, as well as somebody said that the lighter tip reminds them of imitation crab meat. That wasn't my intention. I was looking at a type of fiddler crab, but I can see that now, and I kind of like it. So
yeah, no, I can see it too.
Yeah, I'm also not opposed to bubbles for the jewels, but the water droplets were what I decided on, that I thought looked best. It's not much. It's not like a massive change from the original. I just wanted to kind of accentuate the design elements.
Yeah. Did you take Gigantamax Kingler into consideration at all?
I considered it, but I decided I didn't want to.
Okay.
Because I felt like, well, it's its own thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, the way I see it, like the new 151 isn't like independent from the rest of the Pokemon universe. I have taken Megas into consideration before, like I know we did with Beedrill, but the way I see it, Gigantamax Kingler is enough like regular Kingler that if I gave it like the bubble beard, it would be too much like Gigantamax Kingler.
Right. Yeah, no, I just ask because I guess that would be a connection to make between the new Kingler and just Gigantamax Kingler. I'm not entirely sure why they decided to give it a bubble beard.
Because he's a king.
Sure.
That's my understanding of it. Oh, kings have big bushy white beards.
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just thought maybe putting some bubbles here and there would also play up that connection. But
yeah, I mean, I don't mind putting bubbles like on the ends of the crown, maybe to represent like some crowns have like those little jewels on them.
Right.
I don't know where the bubbles would be on the design itself.
Yeah, no, I don't think that it's necessary. I think that it works just fine the way it is.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if that was something that you'd thought about.
Yeah. No, it was something that I considered and decided against.
Okay.
Somebody's mentioning like Krabby being the bubble crab, and that wasn't something I took into consideration.
Is that its like category name, bubble crab?
I don't know. I mostly went with the samurai crab connection.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's all right. So I'll have to remember to use the right brushes and not use the brushes that I was practicing with before.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
I think I didn't really change much about it. I really just wanted to accentuate with Kingler what was already there.
I guess in terms of like the style of the design, you did keep pretty close to the style of Gen 1 Pokemon where they have like a lot of details. They're very like bumpy. Whereas if you look
Oh,
at
that
like,
wasn't
the Crab
that
Roller, for
wasn't
example.
intentional, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, you can always remove some of those like bumps. I just wanted to keep with like the spine and the keep with like the spiny aspect because if you look at like a king crab, it has spines all over it.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of like Crabrawler and Crabominable, for example. Like if you look at their legs,
Yeah.
they're very smooth legs. They're like it's drawn very cartoony. And there's that.
Oh yeah, you can remove the joints from the legs. Honestly, I just like drawing. I just like drawing jointed legs.
Oh yeah, no, I do that too. I always draw joints and then I end up like, maybe this looks a little bit too complex. Let's try to simplify it.
Yeah, I end up typically. Actually, let me look at some fake mon I've done to see if I keep the joints.
Okay.
Though I'm not trying exactly to aim for a specific style with my fake mon. They're just their own thing. I mean, they're Pokemon, but it's like they're their own generation, so they're going to look more like themselves than they do maybe like Gen 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a comment, if that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
Ethan is here as well.
You were doing great. Have a great back and forth, so I didn't want to interrupt. But now, so I love it. The only thing, and this might be my craziness, the legs on Krabby kind of look too human-like, I think.
Oh yeah, whatever you want to do with those. I was just kind of trying to get what they did with like its little feet. So I like its little feet.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm just... Shed, do you see that too? I might be just... Because I just got done playing a Silent Hill game, so maybe I'm just really messed up today. And I'm saying things where they're not, so...
It wasn't something that occurred to me, but I do see what you mean. And that's maybe some place where we can look to Gigantamax Kingler. Because the style of the legs is completely different.
Yeah, I wanted to give it the little like feet.
Oh, okay. We'll keep that then.
Between doing just like regular, it just comes down into a little spike. But the feet can be more like crustacean-y, like pointed, like in original Krabby. Because the way I have them, it definitely they do look more like human feet.
I feel like if we just change, like either make it spike directly downwards or just make the feet themselves the same color as the rest of the leg, I think that'll help.
Yeah.
Because it'll
and if you draw them more like OG Krabby, where they're kind of curved around the bottom, that would work.
Yeah, right.
I have another comment.
Yes.
The fake eyes on Krabby. Actually, let me look at Caterpie's eyes. Sorry, because I'm just Caterpie, the Pokemon. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if they could be more chibi-like. Like cuter. That's just my thought.
I mean, the purpose of fake eyes is to intimidate.
Oh, okay.
Typically.
Okay. Caterpie is doing it all wrong then, because he looks adorable.
Yeah. I mean, the eyes are very big, so that's probably considered intimidating.
In terms of the eyes, I think the only quote unquote change that I would want to make to it is that I don't think I would want to outline it.
Okay.
So, like, I'm fine with the size, the shape, and everything, but I feel like if we outline it, that might be drawing too much attention to it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to make it clear that they're, like, bulging outward, because that's how, like, all of Krabby's art kind of makes them look. So they're like a bulging part of the shell.
Right. And that we can accomplish with shading, I hope. But
Yeah,
what are
exactly.
other Pokemon that have fake eyes?
Masquerain, but that's completely different.
Yeah, no, but I have just this vague idea of there was a Pokemon that it took me forever to realize what their actual eyes were, and I can't remember what Pokemon
Metapod?
it was. Um, maybe like, well, this wasn't it. I guess, but like, Swoobat and Woobat, for example, they don't have fake eyes, but the way that the eyes are drawn in the pixel art, which would have been the first way that I saw it, first time that I saw it would
Yeah.
have been in pixel art. But I did not understand that the like heart-shaped nose was a nose and that there were eyes next to them.
Oh, huh.
Like it just there wasn't enough emphasis, I think, on the real eyes.
Oh, someone mentioned Cradily.
Oh, Cradily is another one, yeah, because the eyes
Yeah.
are inside of the like bulge, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you may not
yeah.
realize that those
Of like
are
the
actual
blooming
eyes.
part.
Yeah.
Uh, and actually Armaldo as well,
Yes.
Good call.
because
Yeah.
it has the like eye pattern on the carapace, and then it has the eyes themselves that stick out to the sides.
Yeah. Someone mentioned Arbok. That is
Yeah,
technically true.
less so, because that one I don't think you're gonna get confused about which ones are the real eyes or
No,
not,
but it does have an eye pattern.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I just think that that's a fairly minor flaw with those designs. Is just that we don't realize that those aren't the real eyes,
Yeah.
and I just think that drawing a little bit more attention to the real eyes
Yeah.
can help with that. And so, if like making the eye on Krabby and Kingler here the fake eye, not outlined, I think that helps sell it more as a pattern.
As a fake eye. Okay.
Yeah. But that's something that we can try and see.
Play with.
Yeah,
Right.
see if with or without the outline looks better. And the other thing I guess would be to maybe make the real eyes like a little bit bigger so that they stand out a little bit more.
Okay.
But yeah,
I mean, you can play around with that.
Mhm.
So,
we'll try it.
yeah, it's up to you in that regard.
Can you hear that my fridge just like turned on?
No.
Oh, that's good, because it's just the fridge that we have in this new apartment, because we moved here several months ago at this point. We moved here in April. But it's just so loud when when the motor actually starts going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I've always worried about when I'm like recording or streaming, and then I hear it go on super loud. But like, how well does the microphone pick up on it?
Yeah, like I have both the air conditioner and the fish tank in this room. So.
Okay. I can't tell, but I'm also not using headphones, and usually that kind of thing is way more noticeable on headphones.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have a pretty nice mic, so.
Yeah.
I can only find one, like, bug Fakemon I've done recently. And, it doesn't have, like... It doesn't count, I guess? A 2-bug Fakemon. But it doesn't really count for the whole leg thing, as it's, like... It's not... They are more, like, slightly more cartoony legs, I suppose. Though they do have a joint in the middle.
Oh, Gano could hear my fridge. Oh, okay.
Oh!
Can you hear it in videos too? Like, often I will try to time it so that like I start recording my video when the fridge has like just stopped. Give me the most time without it on, but then sometimes it starts going again while I'm still recording if I take too long. So
Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear it then. I mean, these aren't great earbuds, but I have a good mic, but really shitty earbuds.
Like I know that in videos, it's less likely that people will be able to hear my fridge because I do processing on the audio.
Yeah.
But I can't do processing on the audio live, at least not with the setup that I have. I know that it is possible to do that, but yeah. So on live streams, my audio quality is definitely worse. Kyle's cat just winked at him. Should he be scared?
It means your cat loves you. Like,
well,
you know, so.
I mean, is it a wink or is it a like slow blink?
Well, sometimes they do a slow wink.
But I mean, if a cat like actually winked at me, like single eye, you know.
Yeah. Oh, my cat does that all the time. Well, one of mine.
I don't know. I'd find that pretty weird coming from my cats.
If it is possessed by a human, it's nothing to be scared about, to be honest, Kyle. But
fair
it
enough.
could be a good thing.
Yes, being possessed by a human is not scary at all, of course.
Right. Just a new kind of friend. If it starts talking, then that's the sign.
If it starts talking, well, if it starts talking, that'll be very, maybe not scary, but like concerning. Like, what is happening?
Nice,
Am I hallucinating?
Oh, I just got a notification. Umbreon Libris is live, redesigning Krabby and Kingler.
You just got this notification now?
Yeah.
Get it together, YouTube.
Yeah.
I assume, or I think you're supposed to get a notification both when I schedule like when I first announce the stream, and when I actually go live. But either way, now is too late.
Yeah.
The good news is that I found it, regardless. But yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I do get those notifications beforehand, which.
Oh, okay.
It's good because it creates a sense of urgency within me. Like I see it and I think, oh no, I'm missing the stream, but then I go and phew,
right.
It hasn't started. It's just a little warning there.
So Crystal Aria asks, what do you think of Gothitelle? Do you think it needs a redesign? I personally do.
Gothitelle's the third stage, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I think the only stage in that line that is okay is the middle stage, Gotharita. I
think Gothita is fine too. Like, I don't love it, and maybe there's a couple things I would change about it.
Yeah.
I think Gotharita personally is great. I definitely prefer it over Gothitelle. For Gothitelle, I would keep the body and change the head.
Keep the body and change the head.
Yeah.
I never really gave any thought to what I would change about them. They've never really appealed to me.
Yeah. Like, I like the concept of it's a Goth Lolita Pokemon. Like, that's cool. That works if you consider Jinx as like the Gangudo or Mamba fashion Pokemon.
Yeah.
And Gen 5 had a lot of like, this Pokemon is the Unova version of a classic Kanto Pokemon. So like I can get behind that. It's just I don't like the weird discs as like the drill hairstyle, especially when Gotharita had like actual like blob things for twin tails. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Coming together good, Shed.
Yeah, it's looking nice.
Thank you. I think I do want to simplify the legs, though.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just trying to think of how that would work best.
Please don't give them high heels. Please, please, please don't.
Oh, right, because kings wore high heels back in the day. Yeah, no, that's a great idea, Ethan.
That would be for Kingler, not Krabby.
Fair.
The high heels.
Oh no.
I think I can hide these guys now, and let me...
Tell should have a guitar.
It should have a guitar?
Yeah, if it's goth, isn't that a rock and roll thing?
No, that's not like goth Lolita. That's different.
Oh.
I actually like the concept Raphael put forth that Gothitelle needs an umbrella, like a parasol. I don't know how you do it without making it like too like, oh, he's a Pokemon like with a tool object.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really good concept.
Yeah, the umbrella is such an iconic part of the Lolita aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
Or the parasol, rather. Maybe
You could
there'd
like
be a
make
way
it
to
part of its
incorporate
head.
it. Maybe it could be like rather than having a stick and then the cover, the dome part, whatever it's called, of the parasol. Maybe it could just have this parasol thing like floating behind it, kind of thing. So it's like a
Oh, that'd
Pokemon
be
after
cool.
all.
Like floating above its head or something. Or behind
Yeah.
it.
Almost like a hat, except that it's floating and freely.
Yeah. Or maybe it has like a parasol made of like just psychic energy. Like a very simplified parasol shape that
Right.
it can just kind of blink into existence. Oh, this is getting me hyped up for my Jinx redesign. It's not coming for a while, but
No,
I've been thinking about it a lot.
I was actually thinking, I didn't get to actually look it up, but I was wondering earlier, just before we started, how many more like families are left?
Oh yeah, it's a good point.
Because we're almost 2/3 through,
Dang.
right? When we do Voltorb and Electrode next month, that'll be 2/3 because Voltorb is number 100.
Yeah, you're right on that.
And so, like, beyond that, how many families are left? And obviously, I think that we can do, all of the legendary birds. That could be one go because you'd want to redesign them as a group anyway. Same with Mew and Mewtwo; those would have to go together. And maybe there's others, like single-stage Pokemon, like maybe Scyther and Pinsir we'd group. I don't know if they're
That would be cool. That would be cool to do them as a duo.
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually consecutive in the Pokedex.
Let me look.
But if they are, that's something we should think about.
Yeah. They're not. They are not consecutive.
Darn.
But we could still do them together. Nobody signed up for Scyther, by the way.
Maybe...
I mean, I could do Scyther, because I'm signed up as main for Pinsir.
Okay. Cubone and Marowak are not consecutive with Kangaskhan, are they?
No.
Because I've kind of changed my opinion on what that redesign should be, but I still think that because they feel very related, it would still make sense for them to be redesigned together in some way. I don't know exactly how, but
yeah, they're coming up. Cubone and Marowak are coming up soon, so you're gonna have to decide on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, make sure to like the video. And I completely agree with you.
Of course, that was Gano. Thank you, Gano.
Crystal Aria, I completely agree with you on. I'm okay with gendered designs, but I hate when it's like, oh, this design is masculine, so it's all male. It's like, that's so dumb.
Yes, that definitely.
Like as easy as it made it to hatch the right gender of shiny when I was breeding for a Grimmsnarl, it pisses me off that it's only male.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? There's no lore behind it. Like, there's no reason. Like, oh, goblins are only boys. Like, no, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure the concept is related to incubus or incubi, I guess.
The problem is there's nothing like actually very incubus-like about them, like aside from their G-Max ability makes people fall asleep. And right. It's like, I know they can't do I know they can't pull a Megaten and give it like a massive like pink dong, but it's, I don't know, it doesn't read as an incubus.
No, but that in the relation to Hatterene as the witch, like I'm pretty sure that's what they're going for.
It's not very like, I don't know. It does not read as obvious to me.
But even if that is the case, I still think that every Pokemon should have, well, maybe not every single one, but generally
not
speaking,
every
Pokemon
one
should have both sexes available. But I do, like, there are many gendered designs that I think work well, but there's also many gendered designs that are just unnecessarily gendered, and those are the ones that I have a problem with.
Yeah. That's interesting about the Green Knight. I didn't read that at all. I'm also most familiar with the Green Knight from like the old Celtic version, because it's one of those stories that's like that got kind of permutated a bunch of times over the course of history. That was the one where like the guy challenged the other guy to like a jousting competition or something, and the guy's head got cut off, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, so...
Yeah. So it doesn't read as the Green Knight to me, like, at all. It definitely reads as a, like an Unseelie Fae, like a Goblin or Bogart or something. Yeah. And I can see the Incubus connection now with them, like, sucking out energy with their weird nose. But, yeah. See, it doesn't make sense for it to be the Green Knight for me, because the biggest, like, the most fundamental, like, memorable part of that tale is that the guy's head gets cut off and he keeps going. And that does not happen at all with Grimmsnarl. Because it would be cool if we got, like, a Dullahan Pokemon. Like, I would love that, but it seems like we just had, like, the most relevant region for one, and we didn't get one, so... Not that they're not going to throw it in some other region, like, hey guys, we're going to Africa, here's a Dullahan.
Yeah, they don't always... Well, the British Pokemon are mostly very British.
Mostly very British, and then you get, like, completely random stuff.
Yeah, but, like, it's not like they haven't... just gone completely random with, like, Hawlucha, for example.
Yeah, no,
Hawlucha's the classic example.
Okay, the mention of false surrender for the Green Knight makes sense. I could kind of see that, but I feel like it's probably, like, Grimmsnarl's probably, like, a very general combination of different designs. different
for sure.
myths and such. It's just like generic evil fairy, which I love. I'm so glad we finally got like an unseelie fairy. It's kind of bullshit. It took us 2 generations to get like a scary fairy.
Yeah.
The one I think of is the Swords of Justice being right before they make a France region.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
And also, Superior having French royalty motifs in the design. It's like they already had France on the brain, and then they just got too carried away or something.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want an all Africa region, but I would love like a region that's like more specific, like Egypt and some other parts of North Africa. Like that would be cool.
Oh, don't make it Egypt and some other parts of North Africa. Make it one region that's Egypt. Make it one region, or even like parts of Egypt, just like Nile Delta region, and then make it, I don't know, somewhere in Kenya, somewhere in Tanzania. But it bothers me that we're trending towards regions that are country-sized when the first 4 were all roughly state-sized, right? They were like prefectures, I think. And then...
The first 5.
Well...
The first 5.
The first 5.
First 5
well, Gen 5 is more based on, like, New York City. And
and the surrounding area, which is, like, larger than you might... Like, it's not state size, but it's, like, Japan isn't huge. Yeah. So, like, when you say, like, the Kanto region, like, that's probably around the size of, like, downstate New York.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. But
I mean...
I agree.
Because, like, I say this as someone who lives in New York.
Yes, I'm aware that you are way more of an expert than I am.
Yeah, I mean, Nile Delta or just Egypt would be a really cool region.
Yeah,
like,
but then you have, like, Kalos, that is almost the entire country of France. It's like northern France, but it's a very significant portion.
Yeah.
And...
No. It's a very small part of France that they did. Well, not in the anime. If you include the anime, then it is a big part.
Yeah, I mean, we have...
Yes.
We have country regions now, and I kind of like it. But that's my personal opinion.
Galar is really the only one that they really did a whole country for, I think.
And that's because Britain's not very big.
Right. No offense. It's not all about... Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you talk about, like... Galaxia Nova, I would argue that the massive chasm, you could put that as, like, it's a very, fantasy version of, like, the Hudson Valley. Like, I lived in, like, Woodstock for a couple of years, and it gets fucking cold. And, it gets really cold, and we had a tree there was a tree that fell into my mom's, into my mom's bedroom.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, it just, conceptually to me, it just doesn't make sense for a region to be based on an entire country. For one, because I don't think you can properly capture the variety of a country in a single region. Yeah,
I mean, I get that. I mean, I'm okay if a region is, based on part of a country. Like...
Yeah. Yeah, but for me, the main thing is that this is supposed to be a place that you can walk everywhere, right? You literally walk from, from Scotland to London.
I mean,
and like it's not
it's
that it's not
fake
doable.
though. It's fake.
Yeah, no, it's not
Mine
that
is
it's not
real.
doable, but just like if you're thinking of walking someplace, within a reasonable amount of time, you're like, I don't know, backpacking or whatever, and you're just walking everywhere. Sure, it's going to take weeks or something.
Yeah.
But it's just much more manageable. It just makes a lot more sense if you're talking about something that is about an area that is smaller. If you're talking about a state or
really though, what Karen said, it's not literally Scotland and London. It doesn't matter what size their inspiration is.
I disagree because I do think that they are. And like if you don't think of it as a scaled down version of those places for game purposes, because like obviously it's going to be scaled down because you're gonna you don't actually want it to take weeks.
Yeah.
if you're walking from Postwick to Winden,
yeah.
You obviously for a game you don't want it to take that long.
Yeah.
So obviously it needs to be scaled down.
Yeah.
But to me, that has to be something that you actually could reasonably walk.
But it's scaled down. It is. It's fake. It's all fantasy. It's Pokemon.
What?
What, you mean to tell me Pikachu's not real?
What? Of course it's real. Don't listen. Don't listen to Ness. It's real, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think the Giant Chasm is based on the Tunguska event. You're right about that. But also 9/11 didn't make a literal desert. So, they're just, it's fake. It's just fake.
California region, I think.
That would be cool.
I know it's not politically correct to say we should have another America one, but also there needs to be a California region.
They should make an Idaho region, and there's one town.
Do it.
No
yes.
offense if anyone lives in Idaho. There's 2 towns. Oh my god, a Minnesota region with Berserker and Viking Pokemon.
They should do a Midwest region, but not before a California one, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I would be biased in the other direction. Mostly because I want there to be a skateboarding minigame in Pokemon. That's where I'm going for here, but...
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm a lot higher in volume than you, unless somebody's talking about, I sound like I'm on drugs. I can turn my volume down real quick.
Do I not sound like I'm on drugs?
I don't think that's on your end, though, because to me, both of you sound the same volume.
I turned it down a little bit.
Okay, now you sound too quiet to me.
Oh, I'll turn it back up for you. Sorry, guys. I would like a South Asian region. That would be very cool.
My main request for a region is let's go to a continent we haven't been to before. There's so many places in Africa,
Egypt.
South America, Oceania that we haven't been to, even mainland Asia. I'll take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to just keep having European regions all the time.
Yeah, I think we should visit, next we should visit, I'd love Africa region. A Brazil region would be cool. I will admit that.
I do not want a Brazil region. I want 5 Brazil regions. That's part of...
I just meant Brazil region as in somewhere in Brazil.
I know, but people are always saying a Brazil region, and that implies...
I know Brazil is big.
Yeah, no, but like when you say I want the Brazil region, that implies that it's one region to represent Brazil.
No, see,
And-
I just don't know all of the Brazilian like states, so I cannot say like any specific place. Like,
Well,
oh,
like,
I
you
want
could
the
say,
one
like,
with
I
that
want an Amazon
weird-looking
region.
moon valley. Like, that's all I know.
Yeah. No, like I want an Amazon region, and the Amazon can be a single region because even though it would be like very, very large in terms of space, most of it is forest.
Yeah.
So the number of actual settlements would be small. I mean, it's a large number of settlements, but like settlements that are significant enough to be included in a Pokemon game.
Yeah. We could have a Canada region. Someone asked for another cold region. Part of Canada.
Yes.
I don't know what part.
It's really cold here. That could be, and Minnesota. Heck yeah, it's in cold
But
in Minnesota.
I mean, they made Unova, but they made Unova like not cold because Unova's downstate. So.
Oh right, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
There's no, well, go ahead.
Someone said it doesn't matter that if a country's problematic or not, because Pokemon is just like it turns every region into a utopia. Like going around in Galar, it's like, oh, colonialism. What's that?
Yeah, that's true, and it also always takes a very touristy approach.
Oh yeah. Oh, completely.
It's like a foreigner's look at a region, which I mean is what they're doing, right?
Yeah, it's fun. It's
okay.
there's something fun about it.
How's this looking for a Krabby Scratch?
Good.
I realized that the spots, like the eye spots on the face, currently look a little bit too much like nipples.
Thank you.
They do. They
Thank
do.
you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Thank you.
You don't gotta tell me Unova can be cold. Trust me, I live in fake Unova. I'm a little further away from downstate right now. I live in I moved to central New York. It's fucking freezing here though. Like, I don't think it's been like below zero in the Albany area for a long time, but like here, because we get like the lake effect, it gets so windy and just so cold. At least I'm not going to school as much this year because of the pandemic.
Does this look better? Does it look less nipply?
No.
Yes, a little.
No, they still look like boobs.
I mean, it'll be less boob-like, I think, when there's actual colors there. But
Okay, and shading and okay.
yeah.
Fair.
Well, the shading is gonna emphasize that it's bulging, but
Yeah. I agree, Kyle. I think that like they should have made Ireland a larger part of Galar instead of just like a DLC.
I don't think Ireland is the Isle of Armor.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it has like Ireland inspiration.
I thought that from like marketing and from what people were saying before, I thought it was the Isle of Man, and it like matches the placement if you flip everything accordingly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know much about Britain, like other territories. I know there's Ireland and Scotland.
Yeah.
Unova is the best. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great.
Don't talk shit about Unova.
It's great. It's great. It's perfect.
It has Scolipede, and that's all that matters.
That's
I like
all
the
that
cities.
matters. Cool.
The cities are awesome.
Yeah.
They didn't do a good. They didn't really do a good imitation Manhattan, but that's probably technological.
Yeah, I think they did a good job, like having people walking around and stuff.
Yeah, that was fun, and people like, yeah, they did the same thing for Mario Odyssey, or I guess it's not the same team, but have you played Mario Odyssey? The New York level, and that is similar, where they just have NPCs walking and up and down, clones of each
And
other.
they don't look like Mario, and it's creepy.
That's true.
Yeah, the like people in Mario never look like Mario, or at least in Odyssey they don't.
It's
The
creepy.
creepy. Yeah. But I have a pet theory about the region selection. I think they'll go where they have the chance to make the most money from going there. Because so far they've been in Japan, US, France, and England.
So are we
And
going to like what, Germany next or something?
perhaps.
Yeah.
Or
mean,
back to US. Or
The one like flaw that I see with that theory is that I feel like if that's what they were going for, they would have gone for England before France.
Yeah.
no. Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Not that
But
they wouldn't have gone to France,
Really, I'm more than anything, I'm addressing the Brazil thing because, as we know, they do not have a good relationship, Nintendo and
yeah,
Brazil.
we don't have. There's no Nintendo Brazil,
yeah.
or they're just coming back or something.
There's not even a Portuguese translation, as I learned. That's ridiculous.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Yeah, no. Brazil always has to play in.
I don't know if they're
I
gonna
guess
go
is
to
the most
China.
Masuda
Anytime
Twitter.
soon.
Doesn't he have the Eiffel Tower as his profile picture? If so, I like that, Rafa.
Does he? I don't know.
I think I remember his profile picture was him by the Eiffel Tower.
All right, how does that look?
Good.
Yeah, you want to do colors, or do I move on to Kingler
It's up to you.
first? Chat, what do you guys think? It's because Brazil can't stop making dirty jokes about Pokemon names. Well, to be fair, Brazil can't stop making dirty jokes. Period.
Nobody can. It's human nature.
It is human nature, it's true.
There's like graffiti from Pompeii that's like, oh yeah, I fucked the chick over here.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
My favorite-
I remember reading or hearing about that recently. Yeah.
My favorite graffiti from Pompeii is the one that's like, it found in like a hotel essentially. It's like, I'm sorry, I took a shit on the floor. In my defense, you didn't provide a toilet.
Fair. Ness, did you want one of the claws, a specific one of the claws, to be bigger? Because I drew them, I guess, roughly the same size, but I can make the right one.
On Krabby?
Bigger.
Not on Krabby, no, it's
Okay.
fine.
All right, well, we'll leave it at this
Yeah, let's go to
for
King.
now.
Yeah, Masuda's profile picture is him by the Eiffel Tower. Pokemon Z confirmed.
I wish.
Yeah.
There's many reasons they should do Pokemon Z. Well, not anymore, but they should have done it.
They should have. As much as like ORAS was like the definitive Gen 6 experience, Z would have been nice.
All right, let's do Kingler first, and then we'll go to, and then we'll do colors.
Rule out. This is probably not going to happen, but can I give a really ridiculous prediction, and then if it comes true, I'll look like a genius? Can I do that, please? If it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, the Netherlands. A Netherlands region. Because
I
for
would
a
love
while,
that. That was my first plan for my region. Now it's more like Mongolia and parts of Russia.
I say that because Japan and the Netherlands have, I think, the longest history among Japan and the West of
Yeah,
trading.
it does. They do. There's the red-haired gene among some people in Japan because of people from the Netherlands.
Yeah. So write this down. 50 years from now, when there's a Netherlands region in Pokemon, I said it first.
I did start my region as a Netherlands region, but I decided to switch it. But when it was a Netherlands region, like my starting town was called Tulip Town.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the Netherlands would make a very good basis for a region for sure.
Oh yeah, and they could just be like there could just be like a town that's like flooded.
You could have different painters as the legendaries.
Ooh, like
That'd be awesome.
a Rembrandt legendary kind of deal.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the mythical would be a Van Gogh one. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah. So like the Dutch masters would be the legendaries.
Mm-hmm.
You could have or you could have ones based on like famous paintings by them, like "Girl with the Pearl Earring" by Vermeer.
Yeah.
I like that. I like having them based on paintings rather than on people. That would make for more like. I feel like that would make for more interesting.
Yeah.
Designs.
Well, obviously the girl with the pearl earring is going to be the waifu mom. Team Aqua returns to flood the Netherlands.
And Team Magma tries to put it above sea level.
Yeah. Smeargle's native region.
Ooh.
Oh, this is such a good concept, though.
Is the climate though varied enough in the Netherlands? I actually do not know. I don't know if there are deserts there. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. They could always just be like, "Oh, well, here you go." They just have if they're gonna have if they're gonna do like territories as DLC, as not politically correct as it might be, if they needed if they needed more climate difference in climate, they could always have South Africa, because that used to be.
Curacao is a current.
Well, I hope they do not do that.
That would be bad. I know. I said it would not be politically correct. It would be very bad. But
a current territory is in the. Well, how do I describe where Curacao is? It's Dutch Caribbean. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
But,
and who cares? There'll be a desert anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't think that they should, but at least recently that's what they've been doing, right? The
windmills blew all of the dirt away, and now it's just sand.
Yeah, I don't like that every region has every climate, because it doesn't
France has every
The
climate. US has every climate. Japan has every climate.
Yeah.
UK,
but it doesn't have to be. Like you can have regions that are unique.
Yeah, it's just the problem is like fitting every Pokemon and every type in, and I guess it's difficult to have certain Pokemon. Like, now that we're doing like a restricted dex, it could definitely be easier to have a region without a desert or without like snowy mountains.
Yeah. Or like there's other ways that you could do it. Like in Unova there was or Black and White 2 specifically, I think. Or Black and White 1. One of them. It had cold storage, right? So you could catch ice-type Pokemon in the middle of a city.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, that worked out pretty well. Even though they technically didn't need to do it, they could have just been like, this is the Hudson Valley. It's fucking gold.
Yeah. It was just to introduce Ice Cream Man, or the Ice Cream Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the desert region is based on Ground Zero, but like it's not an actual desert. It's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what I'm
because that
saying is
was
just
in
that there's
that is in
ways
Black.
to do it without putting every climate in every region.
Yeah. Like,
That is. Oh, go ahead.
no, I didn't have much to say, so I was just going to talk a little bit about like plants from my region.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it would be cool to like not have to be like, oh, this is a this here's the ocean in the middle of Mongolia.
Yeah. Yeah, like you want a water route, make a river. You don't need a beach.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't need like all saltwater Pokemon, or fuck it. Here's the saltwater Pokemon. Like, here's a naval mine in the middle of a lake. It's Pokemon. Who the fuck cares? Didac, I actually have a I actually have a fire type that is only found in cold places because of that concept.
Oh, what was the concept?
The concept that it would make more sense to have fire Pokemon in cold places and ice Pokemon in deserts. Not that I think it always takes, that it would always make sense. Like, yeah, I think it makes sense to have Pokemon that are certain types existing in places that are like the same type. But I also think it would make sense to have a Pokemon who's like naturally, like, is naturally producing fire inside its body in a cold region.
Yeah.
In a cold area, because it's just producing heat all the time, and that means it can live in the cold. It's let's see, do I still have it on my DeviantArt? I could link it in the text. Pretty sure I do. It's old. It's like an older design, but it's one I'm not really changing much.
I'm so used now to Photoshop freaking out on me periodically and just like not responding to my commands that I thought that's what was happening when in fact I was just pressing the wrong keyboard shortcut. Oops.
Knock on wood, but Premiere Pro of all things seems to be the most stable Adobe software that I've
Oh, depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask. I haven't had too many problems with it, but
yeah, me neither.
Liam was complaining about it a lot on Twitter the other day, Ace Trainer Liam. So.
Well, yeah, in my experience, you know, it's been no bad, and considering it's such big files that it's dealing with, it does a really good job of compartmentalizing everything, it seems. But yeah,
the other Photoshop, editing my most recent video, I was having lots of Premiere problems, but it was just being like super slow to respond. But it was doing it, so.
Karen, don't you fucking start. I'm going back to Sinnoh if it kills me. Does it have to be a remake? No, it could be a sequel to Sinnoh. I don't care. I'm going back.
Oh, no, I think everyone agrees, including Charon, that we should go back to Sinnoh. But we just don't want remakes.
I think we should, just because people will throw a big fit otherwise. So
I will throw a big
that's not a good
fit.
reason.
Well, remember that it was the last straw for me for like 15 years. It was just so boring, but I accept that it is a thing. It exists.
Well, yeah, no, and I do think we should go. We should revisit Sinnoh. We should return to Sinnoh. Absolutely. Just don't make it a remake. I don't want to keep playing the same stories over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care whether it's a remake or a sequel or like an alternate like story that's taking place during the same time or whatever. It's
no alternates. Ah.
No, that's different though. Like, okay, I was gonna make a comparison. I was going to make a comparison between the Digimon Cyber Sleuth games, but you have never played those, so
you can still make it. Maybe other people will know what you're talking about.
Yeah. How Cyber Sleuth and Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory are two completely different plot lines that take place over the same span of time.
Okay.
Like they're like they have completely different characters, completely different like antagonists and plot points. There's like a couple of the same things that happen during them, and they do reuse some assets and whatnot. But the idea is that like this is a side story to the first Cyber Sleuth game.
Oh, no spoilers, please.
I will not spoil.
Okay.
I'm not spoiling. The games are amazing, and I hope you enjoy them. I personally like the first Cyber Sleuth better than Hacker's Memory. I will say that much. But Hacker's Memory was also pretty cool.
Okay, that I would be okay with that.
Yeah, that's what I meant by an alternate,
okay,
like an alternate story.
Yeah, but I don't like that. To me, I wouldn't call it an alternate story. I would call it a concurrent story.
Yeah. Okay.
A story that's taking place at the same time in the same world. Like that's cool, but like Ultra Sun and Moon, for example. That's stupid.
Yeah. Just not like Ultra Sun and Moon.
Okay,
I mean,
like,
there was stuff about Ultra Sun and Moon I liked and stuff I didn't like.
Oh yeah, no, there was definitely stuff that I liked too, but it's just like they had a set of games that developed characters in a particular way.
Yeah.
And then they take all of that they've already established and throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Fine. What about Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Everywhere? You like those, right?
I like some things about it. The story is not one of those things.
Yeah. What about the Cubone thing?
The Cubone thing. You mean how you meet Marowak or like?
Yeah.
That scene was nice. Let's Go did a lot of good things, but like the thing is that they just keep telling the same story, but a little differently.
Yeah.
And it's not different for a good reason. It's just different for the sake of being different. And
it's like a myth that keeps getting retold, or like a superhero origin story.
And that's stupid. We don't need to learn about Batman's parents again.
Unless it's like told in a different or more interesting way, I suppose.
Even then, like, we don't need another Batman origin story. We don't
Unless
need
it's
another
better or good or more interesting.
What's wrong with trying to improve something?
Yeah.
Boo. I
What's
thought the
wrong with trying to
Marowak
improve
moment
something?
was one of the best parts of any Pokemon story. I actually had human feelings about it. Which is crazy.
That is crazy. Okay. It's just that they're sticking to a very small number of stories when there's an infinite number of possibilities that they could go with.
That's fair.
Like, why do I have to see Team Rocket be defeated in Kanto again?
Yeah. I mean, Danger Noodle every Pokemon game is a cash grab. It's
Well, I mean, yes, but that's their business, right?
there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, etc.
Oops, I didn't mean to flip the entire thing.
You know what they should do is make a combined Japan, the first 4 generations. They should put them together in a game.
Usually when people suggest a game with all regions, they do mean
It's usually a ROM hack.
It's what?
It's usually like a ROM hack that never gets made.
Oh yeah, but like, I think that having a game with all regions is stupid. Like I get the desire for that.
Yeah.
I used to be in that camp, but
Wait, who said anything about all regions?
oh no, I'm getting there. You didn't say anything about all regions, but people do say that all the time.
Yeah.
But like, if they made a single game that does all of Japan, not just the 4 regions we know, but we go to the 4 regions that we know are there, but then there's all the other stuff. But like, because the Japan regions are, well, they're not necessarily continuous to each other, but they all exist on the same landmass, more or less. Obviously, Sinnoh and Hoenn are not on the same landmass, but they are connected anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so that might work. But a game where you go from Kanto to Galar to Alola, that's too much.
Yeah. I feel like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon did have effort put into it. I feel like they introduced a lot of interesting ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that there is a total. I mean, it does kind of bother me that they introduced the fact that there's a totally different universe to our own that has like people and a society and like their own creatures, and then it's like, well, we're just gonna drop this concept. Bye.
It was weird for sure.
It was very cool, but also like, yeah, we're never gonna hear about this again.
Yeah.
Until like 30 years from now when we go back to Alola.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Galar? Am I the only one in thinking that, I mean, it exceeded my expectations. I thought it would be very boring. And it is kind of boring, but in a good way. Like, relaxing boring.
The region of Galar?
Yeah.
Or the game of Galar?
The region. Like, in comparison to, say, Kalos or Unova.
Cameron, they have a city. Ultra Megalopolis is a city. There's more than 4 people living there. Just because you only see, like, 4 people.
Okay, but it's still stupid that it's an entire city called Ultra Megalopolis, and it boils down to a corridor.
Oh, I know, it's dumb. It's dumb as hell, but there are more than 4 people in the parallel universe.
Presumably.
Yeah.
But you don't know that. We can't know that. They're not there.
No. Okay, but the concept that like if I said like hey, it's who wants to go to a parallel universe that we've like never actually been to and stuff, like I don't know how many people would actually like want to go, you know? So we got like 4 people.
To be fair, I'm not interested in any of the Ultra Worlds. And that's also why I don't want like alternate takes, whether it's a remake or like an Ultra kind of situation. I like the Pokemon world, and I want to find out more about it.
See, I just love the idea that there's an alternate universe, but like, I know we have very different opinions on a lot of things.
Oh no, I like the idea that there's an alternate universe, but like I'm not interested in exploring an alternate universe.
I want to explore. I want to see all their other like disturbing monsters.
But there's so much in the Pokemon world that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, it's all gonna be like, this is Egypt. This is another
cool.
part of Japan.
Egypt is cool.
I want to see like bizarro shit. I don't know. I mean, like, this is why I like Shin Megami Tensei better than Pokemon.
Sorry, that's another one I haven't played.
Mega 10 games, they're so good.
I think, Shed, I have a question for you about the your definition of sequel.
Okay.
You mean following the same characters as they, after after the story of their first game? Is that what you mean by sequel? Or
not necessarily.
because I would be in favor of an entirely different story within that region.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
I suppose that could be considered a sequel, but that's not what I think of when I hear sequel. But
No,
what I
you're
just
right.
proposed is something cool.
What I mean by sequel is any game that takes place on the same timeline, just later on in time.
Okay. Well, that
What
sounds
about
cool.
a prequel?
A prequel would be awesome too.
But it's not a sequel.
No, but it would be awesome too.
What about a
but,
remake?
like, so the difference is like Black and White 2 are sequels to Black and White. They follow the same story, right? Like, it's not the same characters, but it's a continuation of the same story. Gold, Silver, and Crystal are sequels to Red, Blue, and Yellow. Again, not the same characters, but it is a continuation of the Team Rocket story. So those are the sequels, the kinds of sequels that we have. If they made a new game that is on the same timeline, but also has nothing to do with the stories that we've already seen, I'm still 100% down for that, because they can still talk about the effects of that story, or like show how things happened how the things that happened in the stories we know affect this new story. So Ness, you're gonna recognize this, but there's a series of books by China Mieville, British author, and there's 3 books plus a short story. They all happen in the same universe. They happen at different points in time, and they all happen to different characters, but they all happen in the same universe. And so the second book, for example, is the main character was an acquaintance of the main character from the first book. And she's running away from the city that she lived in because everyone connected to that guy is being persecuted.
Okay.
So it's like, it's her story, but her story was catalyzed, so to speak, by his story.
Yeah.
There's like no overlap in terms of characters or anything like that, but the aftershocks of one story affect another. And then there's another one that has that the third book, it kind of jumps back and forth in time.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see things that were mentioned as historical events in the other books. And you also get to see things that were mentioned as like, this thing happened somewhere else in the world in those other books, right?
Yeah.
So all of that together, it just really gives the idea of a real and like evolving world.
Yeah.
And that's what I want the Pokemon world to be. And so when we just tell the same story again, but a little differently, you're not building that single world anymore.
No, yeah, I definitely understand that. Sleepy Esper brings up the Redwall series of books as an example. That's definitely sounds like what Shed is talking.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, they're all books that take place in the same universe of like heroic rodents.
Okay.
And they take place in like different time periods, to different characters, and you'll often hear references to like the same organizations, the same heroes, the same places, but most of them are either like, you know, a single story or like a prequel or sequel to another story.
Right.
And the other example I gave was the Cyber Sleuth games. They're, you know, they've got some of the same characters and some of the same places, but they take place during the same time period to different sets of characters and involve different plot lines.
So just in case you're curious, I did switch to a different brush for this because the brush I was using apparently isn't compatible with Photoshop's symmetry feature.
Oof.
So the symmetry feature is great for when you're drawing something that is supposed to be symmetrical.
Okay.
And because the other brush was like, it's a fancier kind of brush.
Oh, I see how this works. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it.
I gotta try this.
I don't know if you have like the latest Photoshop, but it's a fairly new feature.
Oh no, I don't, because I'm a filthy pirate.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom. I think my mom does because she
the...
pays for Lightroom. But...
Oh, okay. Yeah. This feature definitely came up at some point during the Creative Cloud.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think Krita has the same feature though, so I'll just use Krita. It's free.
But yeah, it's really cool. Like, it just draws on both sides at the same time, and there's all kinds of symmetry. Like, because this is just standard vertical bilateral symmetry.
Yeah.
But there's radial, there's spiral.
Krita has the same. Like I said, it does have the same feature.
Cool.
I've wanted to use it to draw like weird sigils and stuff for a while, but just never got around to it.
Yeah, that would be fitting. So I like the more the like sketchier look of the other brush that I was using.
Yeah, I like that brush quite a lot.
But this one's fine too. The other brush that I was using, it's actually from a set of brushes that I got that's made for imitating acrylics or oil paint.
Ooh.
And that brush specifically, this one that I've like done all my sketching with so far, is actually supposed to be a grass sketch or like.
Oh
brush.
Wow.
Yeah, so for drawing grass, and like it works great for drawing grass, but I also just really like it for a sketch.
Maybe send that to me later. It's
sure,
as much of a.
It is a paid brush
yeah, never mind.
But it's not very expensive. It's not very expensive, so I'll send it to you anyway.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I was thinking because I lost most of my like Psy brushes when I had to move my hard drive. I need like more Psy brushes, and for using Psy, you can just like with Photoshop and Psy, you can just take a picture of the shape of the brush in Photoshop and import it into Psy. So.
Yeah, these are the wet media brushes. So like if you're painting on the same layer two colors over each other, they actually blend into each other.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd need to adjust like the blending, but
You might, yeah.
yeah, I probably would. I could also, I could also use it on Krito too, which I don't use as much because the stabilizer and Sai is just better. It doesn't have as many features, but it's got like the smoothest stabilizer I've ever used. My brushstrokes don't come out like jittery because I'm always hopped up on caffeine. And I agree, underwater, an underwater region would be really cool. You could have like black smokers. You could have like brine pools, glaciers, beaches.
An underwater region.
Yeah, like an Atlantis region. You could have like a biodome.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And very like unexpected, so that's cool.
Yeah, that would be a very cool like region for a fan game. I'm done.
Only for a fan game?
Well, no, for a real game too. It's one I doubt they would do though.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do it as like a Coliseum or XD style spin-off.
We're in need of a spiritual successor to Coliseum and XD.
Oh, we really are. I loved XD. Like if I actually made my fan game, it would be doubles only. Like,
oh yeah.
Just because I think doubles is so much more fun. But
yeah.
I want another
spoilers,
like doubles
I'm
only.
playing through XD right now for the first time ever. So we're close to the end of the game.
Oh, nice.
But not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And you can watch me play that on Wednesdays at noon.
Cool. Wednesdays at noon. Yeah, I could watch that.
Noon my time, of course.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So same time that this stream started.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can do that. If I remember.
Yeah. I used to post stream alerts on Facebook, and just like almost never anyone from Facebook would show up, so I just stopped doing that.
People from Facebook are the only people who show up when I live stream.
Yeah, and now I just put it on Twitter and on my Discord, and hope that the people who actually want to watch it have notifications on.
Yes. I'm thinking of doing a stream later today. Of Occupy White Walls again. Because they just put out the update where people can submit art.
Oh.
Yeah. So I will suggest to you that if you have anything that's like not Pokemon fan art that you've done, you should definitely submit it. And I haven't
played that game, but I did hear, I've heard about it. And like, seen gameplay of it.
You don't need to play the game to submit.
Sorry?
You don't need to play the game to submit.
Okay. No, the only reason I haven't played it is just because it seems a lot like the Sims, Animal Crossing genre of games. And that's just not a genre that I can usually, like, stick with.
I would compare it more to, like, a building game. Like
same.
Minecraft creative mode.
Yeah, it's same deal. Like, I also don't play Minecraft just because I usually, like, I just feel a bit overwhelmed by choice.
Oh yeah, I feel that would be difficult for you.
What am I gonna do? I don't know. I have to put effort into thinking what I even want to do with this game.
Yeah,
that's a bit much.
I think my mom is the same way when she plays with me. She's like, She puts up like one painting and then is like, I don't know what I want to do with my walls.
I don't know how to occupy them.
I don't know how to occupy my white walls.
Yeah.
Cinnamon Sugar Courtney, the game is called Occupy White Walls, and it is an MMO where you design an art museum.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah. But yeah, you don't have to play to submit art. They have like a website called Cultura, and you buy art codes for I think it's like $9 a piece, and you also get to promote yourself through the game and the site.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Gunnar says I should not play Skyrim, except I have played Skyrim, and the reason I was okay with Skyrim is the same reason I was okay with the New Horizons, with Animal Crossing New Horizons. Because I tried it out because it just looked so cute and charming. And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll give it a shot. And obviously that's not the case with Skyrim. But Skyrim was just another one of those games that like everyone's talking about, or everyone has talked about, and I'm curious about it. But the reason both of those worked for me is because you're not expected to make all of your decisions right off the bat. You're introduced to different decisions that you have to make slowly. So like in Animal Crossing, for example, you obviously like you just choose a character at the beginning, something that looks reasonably like you, and that's it. Or like whatever you want to look like, I guess. Doesn't have to be like yourself. And then like you don't have all of the customization options right away, right? So as you play, you unlock new things, and then you're like, oh, I like this jacket more. I will get it. I will wear it. There you go. Now I wear this jacket. A little bit later, you get access to another jacket, and you're like, oh, maybe I like this more. And so you're making smaller decisions as you go. And same with Skyrim, right? You're not required to choose. Well, Skyrim, I did get kind of stuck a little bit on the character customization page. Like that's too much.
Tell me about it.
Like that is way too much for me for you to decide at once. So it took me forever because like, you know, different characters have different abilities. I've never played this game. How am I supposed to know which abilities I want? But beyond that, after that, right? Like whether you're going to specialize in magic or in hand-to-hand combat or whatever, like you don't have to decide that right away. You get to play, you get to do a little bit, and then you're like, you know, I actually really like using magic, so from now on I'm going to invest my skill tree, whatever it was that you needed to do to go up on the skill tree. Like you can focus on one or the other. So I think that works much better for me. Whereas something like The Sims, where you just doing anything is like everything is open to you, that's too much.
Yeah, for me, as long as a decision is reversible, I just go with it. I just make the decision, and I'm like, all right, like if I need to redo it, I can. Like, do I like this house in Minecraft? No, blow it up and make another. Mm-hmm. Do I like the choices I made for skilling out my character in Pillars of Eternity? No, I can redo them. You know, I can't change my class, but I can change my skills. It's stuff like that. It's like if a game says like, hey, go wherever and do whatever, but you're not stuck with your decisions, that I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna run in one direction and see where I end up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do want like a challenge or a direction though, and either I'll set a direction or I'll follow like one that someone suggested online. Mm-hmm. Like when I play The Sims, my favorite thing to do is make an Uglacy. Which is an Uglacy. The idea is you start with one Sim who looks fairly normal, and over 10 generations of Sims, you want to produce the ugliest Sim possible. And you kind of like, you're supposed to like blog your, you just like blog your journey to the ugliest Sim.
I see.
It's a variant of what's called a legacy, which would be the normal version where you do 10 generations of Sims and you just blog about it. But with the ugliest, you have the goal to make the ugliest Sim. It's so much fun. I ended up with some really ugly Sims, and I was only in generation like 3 or 4.
Seems weird, but
Yeah.
hey, if you're having fun, that's what matters, right?
Occupy White Walls is a really fun game, though, and it's really not as boring as it sounds. I suggest that if anyone likes games where you like build stuff, that they give it a shot.
I actually heard about it from a YouTube channel that is about art and where the host of the channel is a museum curator.
Oh, I think I saw that on their website. They posted that on their website.
Oh yeah. And
It was fun to watch her actually talking about it and like, oh, we need a ceiling because putting the art in sunlight will make it yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right then.
Am I missing anything on this Kingler?
No, I think you got everything.
Cool.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a little bit iffy on the small claw.
Yeah. Do what you will with that one.
But I don't know what I will.
I don't know, make it thicker? I have no idea what to do with the small claw.
Maybe... I don't think the problem is the design so much as the drawing itself. But so like maybe I can just put it.
I feel like the area where the claw meets the arm is a little weird.
Sorry?
The area where the claw meets the arm.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I guess it's like the position of it.
Yeah, it is. It's something about the. I wish Julie was here. She would know.
Yeah, it looks like it's folding backwards, which I can probably fix just by doing. First of all, I have to find what layer that is.
Yeah, it should just be a small fix.
Yeah. But maybe it could also just be bent towards the front and kind of crossed a little bit behind the big claw. But this does look better already, just...
Yeah, that definitely looks a little better.
Angled towards the front now, yeah. Well, maybe I'll leave it at that. This is satisfactory. And people are talking about Breath of the Wild in the chat. I loved that game. And that's another one where the choices are given to you slowly. Like, the very first decision you have to make is just, where are you going to go exploring? Right? So you just kind of walk around the map, figure out how things work, just kind of situate yourself. And only later, or only once you've done a certain amount, I don't remember exactly, but only then are you like told you can go out of this plateau, you can go anywhere now. And then you have a ton of options, but you also do have like story objectives to guide you. So you can ignore them if you want to, but you can also just not spend the brain energy on that decision and just go with what you're told. I love that game.
Oh yeah, I love Breath of the Wild.
I need to play it again, or rather, I just need to pick it up again, because I started a second playthrough where I was like deliberately not going towards the story points. I was like, or story checkpoints. I was just like, I want to go Not towards Kakariko, I think, is the first town that you visit. And like, I'm not gonna go that way. I'm gonna go to Lake Hylia. And like, gotta fight all these Lizalfos that are way more powerful than anything I can deal with. But I'll try to be sneaky about it. But I haven't played it in months, so I have to pick it up again. Let's figure out some colors then. How set on the colors that you had were you?
I'm set on the gold for like the crown, because I think that makes the crown more obvious.
Mm-hmm. Like over time, Krabby has had a variety of different colors, right? It's gone from like very strong red to a very orange, or like a very brown orange. So like the colors that you have here, you have a very orange, and a very red.
I just honestly, I just picked up the colored pencils that I like barely ever use, and just rolled with what I had. Like I would probably have used different colors if I had access to them, or if I wanted to actually spend time mixing the colors, which I did not.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not much of a traditional artist.
There's always someone that asks me like, why don't I use the like paint bucket kind of tool in Photoshop? And it's because you have to be so precise with like your lines connecting or not.
I use the what I do is I select around my my like outermost outlines and invert them. And then when I want different colors, I just paint like on the inside.
Yeah, but here you can see that there's a corner that I didn't connect the lines.
Yeah.
And so
I just go in and connect them.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it a little bit like calming, I guess, to just color it in manually sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always end up having to color stuff in manually with my method.
When I do final outlines and all that, then I do have an action, because at that point I've made sure that all my lines are connected.
Yeah.
And so I have an action. I just select something and it creates the layer for me, and does all the usual things I want on it. But for sketching purposes, I'll just do it manually. It's okay.
Gano, you can either select the area inside the lines, you can do an invert selection, or you can have a flat color that you are painting on, and lock the opacity of the layer.
Yeah, that's the methods that I do when when I've done final lines.
Yeah, when I'm like shading.
Exactly. Yeah, because then you can shade a section or shade a color without going over anything else.
Yeah. Like, unless I'm intentionally blending, like if I'm doing something more painter-like, it works pretty well.
Mm-hmm. I still usually blend certain things at least on. So like when I have a border of, I have a color that I want to fade into another color kind of thing. I still do that on 2 separate layers. I have a color underneath and I have color on top, and I just fade the base color before locking the opacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's so cute.
Which I guess is what I am going to have to do here. On the final lines of this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to keep the faded effect.
I do think that the fade is maybe less like what modern Pokemon would do. Like, I feel like it would be a more deliberate pattern in some way. I don't know what it would look like.
Exactly, I don't know what it would look like.
Yeah. But
it would probably, like, if it was anything, it would probably just be like a V, or like the whole nose area.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I think the blend is fine too.
Floor, it has 2 eyes. The big eyes are fake.
Yes.
Oh my god, my friend Fifi is coming up with Digimon names. They just came up with Collinmon into Phil Collinmon into Genesimon.
That makes sense for me.
They haven't decided on the Mega yet. Now I wanna draw their fan-made Digimon.
I really don't know why I never got into Digimon, like, as a franchise as a whole, because, like, up to the 3rd series of Digimon,
yeah,
I was watching it on TV, and I was watching it at the same time that I was watching Pokemon, or not at the same time, but they were back to back, so I would watch both, and the I see, you have the whole upper arm orange. Okay.
Yeah, I just decided that looked better.
Mm-hmm.
We can change it back if you think that looks better.
No, I wasn't making a decision. I was just misremembering.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, like but then I stopped watching Pokemon, the Pokemon anime, and the Digimon anime at around the same time. Mm-hmm. So that was about the 3rd series of both of them. It was Gen 3, and it was, I don't remember what it was called, but the Digimon season that had Renamon.
Yeah, that was Tamers. That was the 3rd season.
Yeah. So that was the time that I stopped watching both of them. Except Pokemon, I continued, like, playing the game.
I think a big part of it was that Digimon didn't have good quality games out at the time.
Honestly, I don't even know if I was aware of any Digimon games at all.
Yeah,
at the time, but even until relatively recently.
Yeah, Tamers was the best season, Danger Noodle. Hell yeah, Digimon Tamers was the best. I love the like start of Tamers is just like this dude makes his like OC and it comes to life. That's literally how it starts. This guy draws his Digimon, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Gyumon, it's got fire breath, and it's a virus type." And
yeah. One thing that did bother me, that I remember bothering me at the time about Digimon, is that they were always changing the concept of like how Digimon works.
Yeah. it's not like Pokemon
Mhm.
where it's a consistent, like, everything takes place in the same world. It's like every Digimon universe is different for the most part.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how, like, original Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and Oris are different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I get that now, but like I guess because I was more interested in developing a consistent world rather than
Yeah.
in to having to learn new rules.
Exploring different concepts through AUs. Yeah. Digimon only had like bad beat 'em up games around like the end of season 3, beginning of season 4, and I can see that. That for like keeping up with the, like, if you stop watching the anime, then you would have the Pokemon games to keep up with, but nothing for Digimon if you were playing the games. And the games sucked around that time.
Right.
And yes, the consistent things are guns and belts, and also mammals that turn into angels.
Mammal that turns into angels. That's true.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I mean, my friend is watching through Try and like the light version of Meikumon. Oh, and childhood trauma. A lot of childhood trauma. Like, Ash might not have a dad, but at least he didn't have, like, childhood trauma.
And they don't even, like, address that, right? At least I don't think so. They don't talk about how rough Ash's childhood was growing up without a dad.
No, he's just got a single mom.
Yeah. Like, that's just it. And that's the end of discussion.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, welcome back, Ethan.
Thanks. I went to the outside world.
Why?
Why? Pharmacy was closing and I had to get my my medicine. So.
Oh yeah, I might not have some of my medicine tonight because I forgot and I can't call it in.
Remember
it's whatever. I can call it in. I couldn't call it in today anyway because it's a weekend. I can call it in Monday if I don't already have it.
Yeah, I called it in yesterday, so I was lucky. But then the pharmacy is open on weekends. Just not my doctor, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, people are... It was a mixed bag. Not any real monsters outside, though, which is good.
Good.
No pterodactyls or dogs or anything. Rabid dogs trying to kill me, so...
No Pikachu?
Not as far as I could see, no. But one thing I do think is that we need to do a better job of explaining why it's important to wear a mask, because I saw people wearing masks until they were having conversations with friends.
Yeah! People, they get on the phone and they pull their mask down.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. None of us were ready for this. None of us thought we were going to be living through a pandemic. And I think politely there should be a new public health initiative to explain to people, talking is the reason why you need to wear a mask effectively.
Talking is the reason why you need to wear a mask, and if you talk to someone on your phone and then you touch your phone, you're getting those droplets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a comment.
Yeah.
But I'm always sensitive to people, whether they're, doing it or not, because who the heck knows? Unless they're wearing a shirt that says I'm an asshole and I'm refusing to wear a mask because I suck.
Oh my god, Gano, tell me about it. People have, like, I've told people, like, yo, you gotta pull your mask up over your nose, and people have been like, oh, this person needs to mind their own business. It's like, dude, I'm sorry.
It is your business.
Like, I'm sorry my asthmatic ass is telling you, hey, maybe, like, don't kill me.
Yeah.
It is everyone's business, to be clear.
Yeah, exactly.
It
it is everyone's business, and obviously you shouldn't, like, harass people to put their masks on. But if you'd be like,
oh, no, I don't.
Hey, you should be wearing a mask. That's cool. Like, I mean, that should be fine.
It's like, you need to, I said, like, yo, you need to, like, pull up your mask over your nose. You're not wearing it, right?
Yeah.
And this woman just screams at me, like, I have COPD! And it's like, her daughter next to her wasn't wearing the mask right either, and I'm thinking, like, yo, lady, if your mom actually has COPD, you really should be wearing your mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, as someone with a hidden disability, I always try to be thoughtful about. But I know I'm not exclusive. I'm not the only person who has that. But also, I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive, but for someone who has a really serious disability that would actually prevent them from wearing a mask, hopefully they would think about how they could,
Yeah,
you know,
and
stay
not
inside.
just like yelling at people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I don't immediately get outraged. But I did get outraged when I saw someone. I mean, I'm in my head, of course.
Yeah.
Well,
I know better.
You got outraged. You just didn't rage at them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't in that state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was just frustrated. But, we'll be fine. Oh, no, we won't be fine, but things will continue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff will happen.
We will exist, or we won't.
Yeah,
Things like that.
We'll see.
Yeah. The other day, Indigo and I were walking down the street. We were just going to the grocery store, maybe, or to pick up food at a restaurant. I don't remember. But someone like an old woman, like probably in her 60s at least, she's just like sitting on a chair on the sidewalk. It's a very like residential neighborhood, so like that's not the surprising part. But she's like, "Why are you wearing a mask?" And like we just ignored her and kept walking. But like, so that we don't kill you.
Yeah, it's like, why are you wearing a mask? So your ass doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am in the U.S. Didac, and there are, like... I haven't seen too many people who are, like, just anti-mask, but I've seen a lot of people who just don't fucking know how to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's not time too.
Yeah. Over here, majority of people are being responsible. And, masks are now required on like public transit and stuff, even though the region that I live in, we have very few cases. But yeah, there is still some resistance. And I was actually watching a video about why the mask became a political issue.
Oh, I might want to watch that.
Yeah, it's from Vox, but if you don't mind the spoilers, it's basically because in the U.S. at least, but same with other places, there wasn't like a united communication.
No, there wasn't. Yeah.
Regarding just everything about the pandemic, really. So like, Dr. Fauci or whoever else would come on the press conference and say, masks are important for this reason or whatever. And then Trump would be like, oh yeah, but masks are optional and, I'm not going to be wearing it. And so it becomes a situation where you have to choose who to believe.
Yeah,
and so
of
it's
course
like,
the people who believe Trump
more?
about everything else.
Yeah.
A fucking video to tell you that? Jesus Christ. That's just our reality.
Yeah.
Sorry for swearing.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
But that's like saying water is important to breathe. Water is important.
Water's important to breathe. I don't know about that.
Brain. What is brain? What is brain? No, but I'm saying it's like.
Yeah. No, but like, this is something that the U.S. government, or like entities of the U.S. government, figured out during the anthrax crisis in 2002 or whatever it was, where nobody knew what the situation was. Nobody really knew what was the recommendation or not, and so the communication around that was also all over the place. And so I don't remember who it was, the CDC or something, like actually came up with a document of how to communicate during a crisis.
Yeah. And then Trump just throws all that shit out because,
Exactly.
oh, I don't need that.
Exactly. So the problem is that even though they have that document, they haven't done that.
Yeah.
And whereas if they had done that, things would have gone more smoothly because everyone would be on the same page.
Yeah. The anthrax crisis was honestly, it's so interesting that like people don't talk about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was probably just one dude who was like inventing like this anthrax vaccine or something, or like anti-anthrax something or other, and they were gonna like cut his job. So he's like, well, my shit's important. But there's still actually, it is sort of a bit of an unsolved mystery because they don't know whether it was just him or if he had accomplices. Mm-hmm. So like, I really want to hear about it on like one of my true crime podcasts. I'm hoping that someday someone will do an episode on it because it's actually really interesting. Because I didn't know that until like a couple of years back. I was just like, oh, it was the terrorists. But
no. And it was very like widespread, like, or at least like news of it was like, my dad received a packet of white powder.
Oh my god.
It wasn't anthrax, it was like just chalk or whatever, but it was like his students essentially playing a prank on him. My dad is a teacher and a headmaster, and so it was basically his students playing a prank on him. Obviously a very bad prank. Yeah. But like it reached us all the way in Brazil.
Dang, yeah. And then we didn't like hear anything else about it, you know, when they find out it's not like people from the Middle East, it's like nobody's talking about it then, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, technically it was a terrorist, but it was a homegrown American terrorist.
Oh yeah, well you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to let people know that there's American terrorists?
Yeah, really.
My crazy political thought is that there's nuance, and I mean within Chicago, not too many people are hard right-wing folks, and I think there's room to explain to people whose hearts might be in the right place that they're doing it wrong. That's if I were a public official, I would probably focus on that, because I mean it's just so divided that there's no way to even bridge the
like. I think that for it to not become divisive anymore, this information would have to be coming from Trump himself. It would have to be Trump saying, wear a mask.
Yeah, he would need to actually come out and say, wear masks and put them over your nose too.
Yeah.
Keep them on when you talk.
Because otherwise it would still be construed as the Dems are forcing us to give up our freedoms or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, first a mask, now then what? Freedom of speech?
That all is really stupid.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it is really stupid, but the good news is that the NFL starts tomorrow, so everything is solved.
Everything is solved until someone kneels and the far right people freak out.
That's true. Hopefully, I think some teams are just skipping the national anthem in the first place.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen
NBA
players
had canceled games, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. The players just walked out, and the MLB of all things.
That's good.
Had teams come out to pretend like they were going to play, and then they just quit. Like they just put all their equipment down and left.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But now they're all playing again, and hopefully, and I don't know.
Gano, I don't know who you know that would like not wear a mask if Trump said so, just because they hate Trump. But like, fuck those people.
Oh
yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. If you're anti-Trump and like you can't wear a mask, you're not anti-Trump for the right reason.
Ness, I'm thinking the bottom here, maybe it should just be all red.
Fine by me. Oh yeah, our political system is really dumb.
Like if Trump said don't breathe water, of course you would still breathe water because you need to do it to survive.
Yeah.
Right? Or, wait, if he said, yes, the effects of
Breathe water.
yes, exactly.
Did you want or rather, I know that you wanted the eye on this one to be golden as well, but
Yeah.
because you said that the eye or on Krabby were golden to match the crown,
The what on Krabby?
the eyes, the like.
No,
the
I
real
didn't
eyes.
say the eyes were gold.
Well, the thing around the eyes.
Thing around. Oh, that? Yeah, they don't need to be.
Okay. Yeah, like on Krabby, I think it's fine because it matches.
Because there's nothing behind it, and it
Yeah,
matches the crown
yeah.
on Kingler. Yeah. No, they don't have to. I like them orange.
Okay. Yeah, I like it like this. And the like droplet jewels.
Yeah.
Were you thinking of them as just white?
I went between white and red. And I was also considering blue, but what do you think?
Well, blue might actually work nicely just as a contrast color.
Yeah, and there are like crabs. There are some fiddler crabs that are like red and blue also.
Okay.
Color blue. That's my comment.
I'll adjust this blue. I doubt this blue will be the ideal one, but yeah, because both Krabby and Kingler, in both this version and in the original, they are very like samey kind of color, and so adding a little bit to be different.
Yeah, like
probably
a
good idea.
contrasting color. And
Oh.
they look like water droplets.
Yeah, I also meant to.
Yeah, America's basically not a democracy. It's
No.
it's a fake democracy.
No, it's not even. I mean, it isn't. Yeah, it's not. No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, there's stuff I like about America. Like, I like all the different, like, cultures. I like that there's a lot of different people. I like all the beautiful, like, landscapes and stuff. But, you know, I'd rather, like, I don't like the government.
I like that some people still try to make it better,
yeah.
even though it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Well,
I like what it could be.
You're not going to get anywhere if you don't try, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, I like how you can like walk down, like you can walk through a city or even like a strip mall in the suburbs, and you can walk by like an Asian grocery, and then there's like a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
You see all different kinds of people. And then you go from like one state to the other, and like the culture is like totally different. Like they call soda pop.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, I mean, even within my state, it's Chicago is very blue, but then you get to the south, and there were the south of Illinois, and there are people who were saying our governor, by telling people to stay inside with COVID, was, trying to become a dictator, and they, I mean, it's some very right-wing people in the south of Illinois. So
Yeah, it's like it's like New York is blue mostly because of New York City. Like most people here are like centrists.
yeah. I mean, towards like Kentucky, though, it's like the south in Illinois. I mean, as you
Yeah.
can imagine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people do like America but wouldn't call themselves like patriots because the government sucks. Tear that shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of my good feelings about the U.S. came from my family coming here as refugees in the 30s. But if that were not the case, I would probably just be like, fuck it, I'm out of here. But I do feel a bit of good feelings about it in that way. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's there are a lot of far left people in the US. They're just not really represented by a single party.
That is another problem.
Yeah.
Your two-party system is weird.
It sucks. It sucks. Like, the closest you could probably get is, like, like the Green Party or, like, the Democratic Socialist Party. But there's, like, so many... Then, there's, like, a handful of parties to represent, like, a group of people and ideals.
To be fair, what happens is the teams have the same name and logo, but then the ideologies can switch from one election to the other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's like they take on different... things.
Kyle, to my knowledge, if you give birth at a hospital, your insurance, if you have it, will pay for it. But if you don't have insurance, yes, you do have to pay. Because our healthcare system is the worst.
Yeah. And
it's absolutely ridiculous. And I am really lucky that I'm able to get my meds for, like, a small copay. And when people talk shit about, like, Medicare for all, it's like, it's ridiculous, because it's like, I am on Medicare because I'm on disability. And without, like, Medicare, I would be, like, fucked.
Yeah.
But people, like, everybody should have, like, Medicare. And it's like, oh, but it'll raise our taxes. It's just tax Jeff Bezos alone. That would be enough.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about a world where giving birth did not cost money. I mean, you go to a hospital, of course, you get charged.
I have never paid to go to the hospital.
Yeah, it's
under any
ridiculous.
circumstances.
My mom there was one time where I'm like, yo, Mom, I think I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, don't call an ambulance. It costs money. I'll drive you.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
definitely.
Here it costs money to get the ambulance as well. Or
that's still ridiculous. It shouldn't cost money in any world to get.
No, but maybe it only cost me money because at the time I wasn't a permanent resident. And so at the time I was actually paying for my government insurance, which now I don't have to anymore. Well, I mean, now nobody has to because it's free for everyone.
Yeah.
But at the time, basically, it was a paid insurance, but citizens were, like, the fee was waived, essentially.
Yeah.
I wasn't a citizen at the time, so I had to pay. But nowadays, nobody has to pay. But even then, I'm a permanent resident, which it counts in that. So I wouldn't have to pay, even if it was still paid.
Yeah. It's like, I know I'm probably never going to move anywhere else, just because I'm a fucking autist, and I hate change, and I only speak one language. So, unfortunately, I am stuck here.
I wanted to move to France, but when that happened, I did not want to be an American with overseas with Trump in office.
Yeah.
For conversations like this, where appropriately I would be criticized for the president's actions.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay here.
My mom, when she went on vacation to London a couple of years ago, they were like, people were asking her, like, oh, do Americans really like Trump? And she's like, he lost the popular vote. And they're like, oh, wow. Like, they didn't understand that a lot of people really hate him here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like there's some misunderstanding there about, like, how popular he is.
It's so frustrating to, on a daily basis, have to live with that. So maybe in a different reality where this didn't happen, I'd be living in France, but we take what we can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably never moving anywhere else because I'm not very good with languages. I'm learning Japanese a little bit at a time, and that's only to, like, translate stuff. I would never get by in Japan. I'm too weird. I would just be that weird foreigner.
Yeah. It's probably a lot different in Japan,
Yeah.
where, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
So Ness, I tried here a not faded pattern for the claw.
It's interesting.
I think if I did it like that on the claw, I would also want to do a not faded pattern on Krabby.
Okay. It's up to you.
And I'm also thinking if the
I
small
like the not faded
claw
pattern on the claw.
should be red, the top of the small claw.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Okay.
I was considering that. Yeah, being weird is cool, but not so much in like a culture where being weird is looked down on, like being not the norm. Like I mean, I would probably have an excuse as a foreigner.
Right.
Some context. I had lived in 2016 in France for 3 months, preparing for moving there, but I also got asked a lot about the election, and I thought there was no way that Trump would get elected, so I was like,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Oh man.
But then imagining that being multiplied by the fact that it actually happened and it was going on is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we all thought that. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, no, I seriously thought that it wouldn't happen, but oh my god.
But here we are.
Yeah.
Shut is pretty nice to Americans for a non-American, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are rude to Americans, even if they don't perceive it that way. Like, oh wow, you guys have to pay for healthcare? That's so sad. Like that sort of pity. It's like, in my country, we don't have to pay for health. No offense to any of you guys in the chat. It's just something I see a lot. It's like, yeah, I know you guys don't have to pay for healthcare. I don't want to hear about it. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Yeah, we wish we had that too, and we're
Yeah,
fighting
it's
for
like,
it.
I know my country fucking sucks. You don't have to tell me a million times.
Some
like-
of our neighbors die because of the rules. It's not an abstraction to us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Like,
not.
Yeah. It's like, oh, and you're loud and impolite. It's like, yeah, we're also dying because, like, we can't afford healthcare.
Yeah.
And, like, most of us didn't vote this asshat into office. Like, I don't know. I know hating on Americans is like, the thing to do, but it's... Yeah.
Because you're a New Yorker. And everybody outside of New York hates on New York, at least in my experience.
Yeah, everybody outside of, like, I don't know what it is. They hate on New York, but, like, I always feel like they're hating on New York City, because people outside of New York don't know that there's anything, like, north of New York City.
I've actually only been to upstate New York. I went
Really?
to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh,
I've
nice.
never
In,
been to this-
what, Cooperstown?
Cooperstown.
Yeah,
and I loved
that's
it.
actually... I don't think that's too far from where I am right now. My friend went to Cooperstown because there's a brewery there that he really likes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the town was nice. The place, the museum was nice. I'd like to go to New York City, but obviously now is not the time. But I've never been. But I love seeing it in movies and stuff. And
Yeah.
right now, while we're doing this, I'm playing a Tony Hawk game where I'm in New York, skating around. So, definitely, it's cool.
God, I wish we were a Satanist, anarcho-communist, godless republic. It'd be better than what we have right
to
now.
interrupt, but I do have to shout out Connor McCormick. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the support.
Super
Yeah,
chat.
thanks, man.
Thank you for supporting.
Yeah, upstate New York it's Albany, it's Saratoga Springs, and highways and fields of cows.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, there's a lot of cows up here. Like, there's a lot of country up here. It's not what you would expect from thinking about New York.
I honestly
There's-
I've been
Canadian
to
border.
upstate New York, but I honestly don't remember like what the scenery was like.
Yeah, there's the Canadian. I've only been to the Canadian border in Vermont, and that was pretty funny because we didn't intend to go there. And we ended up at like the gas station that's basically like the last stop for anyone who doesn't want to go to Canada.
It's like those directions where it's like, oh, if you make it to the rail line, you've gone too far.
Yeah, exactly. If you make it to Canada, you've gone too far. We were going in like the opposite direction of where we needed to go.
Point of no return.
Yeah, it was like the last stop. Point of no return.
I remember, but maybe I was kind of young, but I remember there being mountains and hills and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's hills, there's mountains, there's valleys, there's a lot of farmland and forest.
Yeah, because here it's completely flat.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, what the heck is this?
Very,
the land goes up and down.
Especially if you're in like the Hudson Valley, the Catskills area. Very hilly, lots of forest. It's beautiful in the Catskills. I want to live there. There is a I'd say like this area around like I live in Syracuse now, so it's like central New York. It's like lakes. I don't know what else. There's a lot of lakes, and because of that, we get like crazy amounts of wind. Like it can be like a nice day out, but the wind is just like and like blows shit off of the steps leading up to my house.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not always like that, but when it is like that, it gets crazy.
That's my life.
Especially. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I live by a lake too, so I know what you're.
Oh yeah.
What you're going through.
Especially in especially in the city, because there's like all these tall buildings. So the wind moves around the buildings, and so it just like blows like crazy amounts everywhere.
It's scary in the winter when there's like icicles and stuff on the buildings, and there's wind, and you don't really know what's gonna happen.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, no, you don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the path of one of those icicles.
I like this pattern shed, so far, with like the round area.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying various different things.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas, let me know.
We'll see how this one looks, because I'm liking this one. So. Duraludon use icicle crash. It should know icicle crash.
Mm-hmm. Chicago and Duraludon will not exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chicago Duraludon.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could have like an Inovan Duraludon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a nice pattern.
Round is good, says Courtney. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the one that's the most fitting so far, at least.
Yeah, I like this.
It makes me want a Krabby Patty.
Oh man, I'm hungry. I'm probably gonna have some grapes.
Well, I think we can leave this here, actually.
Yeah. Somebody suggested putting red on Krabby's claws. What do you think of that?
Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah, I'd say like at least on the upper parts of his claws.
Yeah.
It would like work more with like Kingler.
Mm-hmm.
Karen, are you still here? Karen, the Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. I had to send that important message.
It's an elderly. My neighbors are having a party. There was an elderly couple living. Oh, I read that wrong. I read that as the elderly couple is playing WAP, and instead of like the people at the party.
We had
Unless
to
that's
explain.
actually what's happening.
We had to explain to Shed what snatch means because we had someone who was a translator of one of the games
Oh, yeah.
saying that snag ball in XD was, or in the direct translation would have been snatch ball,
Yeah.
but they couldn't do snatch. And then
Well-
Shed was like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Sit down, Shed. There's something you have to hear."
Yeah, I was not familiar with that slang.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why they got rid of the move snatch.
Yeah.
In,
It existed for a long
Sword
time
Shield.
though.
yeah, it did.
And like it was introduced in the same generation as the snag ball or snag machine.
Well, maybe because snatch together with ball
Yeah,
would have
that's
been
what I
like
thought,
too
too.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I like it.
I
Oh,
like
yeah.
it with just the red, not the red and orange.
Yeah.
But maybe
Either way, I mean,
maybe the white tips. I'm just trying to like do something to make it a little bit like
yeah.
hint a little bit
Try
towards
the
Kingler.
red and white tips, or just the white tips on the red.
Yeah, I think just the white tips on the red, not red and orange and white tips. That can
Okay.
just be on
Yeah,
Kingler.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that if Trump wins without the mail-in votes, he's going to be like, "And I win," and blah 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 blah.
I think he's gonna be blah 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 blah. Blah.
And I think he's going to be like a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's a great Trump impression, by the way.
What about fart noise? Insert fart noise here. That's my impression of him.
That's my Trump impression.
Cool. Is there anything else that we should fix or that we should do before I'm free to finish this up later? On either of them.
I think it looks pretty good.
I do too. I like it.
I like it too.
Oh, Kanto was suggesting some white bubble patterns, I'm guessing on the claw, like a Zoomeril.
I mean, I'm okay with trying it.
Maybe.
Maybe white onto the smaller one.
On a smaller claw on Kingler as well. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of how the bubbles would work. If they would work.
Gano, Legal Eagle actually has a video about like what would happen if Trump just decided to stay in office. And hopefully, if that happened, there would be a way to get him out.
Yeah, he would just stop being the president no matter what he wants.
Yeah, he would just be like, "I'm gonna make an executive order," and it just wouldn't mean jack shit.
Yeah. And then he would go to jail if he tried to be president.
Yeah,
For
I like that. At the end of the day, he's a gap.
yeah.
Is that an option that he has like within the existing democratic system to just step down?
No.
No. Okay.
No, he can't just continue to be president.
It's
Yeah,
just a
no,
common
okay.
thing that people are worried about because he's a child.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to."
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I am concerned that, like, yeah, the Dems were, like, kind of pussies about impeaching him, but like I think that would be a bridge too far even for them if he decided to stay in office.
It would be the military that would have a word with him, I think.
Oh yeah. I think there would be a problem with that too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll put the white on the claw, and I think that's it then.
Yeah.
Shade it, shade it. Oh no.
Well, I haven't been doing that for.
Yeah, we don't usually.
I don't
Right.
finish the drawing, and like this isn't final lines or anything either, so it'll have to. Just because
Perfect.
of how long it takes to do final lines, to do shading and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And since for the new M51, we're always, or almost always, we're doing 2 or 3 Pokemon in one stream. Like, you remember the one time I redesigned 3 Pokemon at once? We were here for 8 hours in the Clink family redesign.
No.
And so I just don't want to. I don't want to be here for 8 hours
Yeah.
ever again,
I mean-
unless it's like a charity marathon kind of stream.
True. We have to work on. Can we reveal the name of the archive? Or is it not ready?
Well, have we decided? Like only 3 people have weighed in on that. But for those who don't know, for those who aren't aware, we are working on putting together an archive of Pokemon game footage that is free to use by anyone in the community. So anyone who wants to make videos about Pokemon and needs a footage of something happening in a game, you'll be able to go there. You'll be able to search for exactly the game, exactly what you want. We're trying to make it as the tagging and filtering systems. We're trying to make it as comprehensive as possible, and so it should make it really easy for you to find stuff and go and download it. Make your videos really easily. What we will need before it can really be its best is we're going to need a lot of people to help with finding and requesting footage from creators. Obviously, we're not going to add stuff without their permission, but we want to, if there's footage that is out there that meets our standards, we want to find it and then ask the creators for permission to include it in the archive. We will need a lot of people also to just be going through the episodes, going through the footage that people send in to tag it, to make sure that it's easily searchable. And we're also going to be looking for people to record new footage at the highest possible standards, so that we can have a really comprehensive and useful archive for everyone. We have a name in mind, but I don't know if more people have weighed in on that idea. So maybe it's not time to reveal that yet.
Just trying to be hyping up the hypeness. I wasn't gonna say. If I wanted to say it, I'd just say it. But
oh yeah, of course you would. And if you want to help out with the project, there is a Discord you can join, which I can I can get the link for. And actually, Ethan, why don't you do that? You should be able to create a link and put it in the chat, because I want to look at when we're going to do the next stream.
okay, you got it. Okay, so everybody, the link is. How Discord server. Open your server, click the instant invite button. Okay.
While you're looking for that, our next stream will be on October 10th, when we will do Voltarbin Electrode. And I've already made the sketches for that one. I'm excited to share that. I think it's a neat idea, maybe a little bit outside of what we would normally do in the new 51, but I just really like it. And that's all I'm going to say. Everything else you're going to have to find out on October 10th. And I will try to finish painting these two, Krabby and Kingler, by within a week. But yeah, nice. We'll see. Ethan, did you get it? I don't see the server link.
https://discord/gg/UA capital Z M 8 capital P.
Are you gonna post it?
Oh, I did post it. I think
Did you? Oh, maybe it's because I have top chat on. Hang on.
Yeah.
Everyone, switch your chat mode to live chat, and then Ethan, send it again.
No.
Because unfortunately, switching to live chat doesn't retroactively affect the chat, so you won't. If something was hidden, it won't show.
Okay, it literally says Discord.
I just wrote that.
Weird.
Do you see it?
I don't.
Okay.
Okay, how about Ethan puts it in the Discord? Ethan links it to Shed in the Discord, and then Shed writes it on Photoshop.
Oh, I guess I could do that, but...
Yeah, it's not like people can just click on it, but it's still better than not having it at all.
Yeah. Well, it's so weird, though.
Yeah. It's probably just, like, maybe that YouTube's like, oh, no Discord.
Well, it's probably... Like, I don't think YouTube likes having links in the chat, but...
Yeah.
But normally, like, I'd be able to see something, like a message that got moderated out. And...
I found the perfect way around it.
Okay.
Put a space in it.
Can you see that?
Oh, no.
Gano also put it in the chat, and then it also didn't show up there. Okay, hang on.
http://discord.gg.
It let it in, so it's perfect.
Yes, it's perfect.
/UA capital
Okay, let's make this more legible. So we will need a lot of help. So please help. I think it's a different. Yeah, the link is different. The link I made is different from the link that they made, but it'll lead to the same place. So type that into, if you're interested in helping, and we will need a lot of help, please type that into your browser, and we'll see you in there. We'll see you in the Discord.
I have no help to give, but if you guys are interested in helping, you should definitely help.
And we will just need help, like, getting the word out there too, for people who want to help. And if you have a close personal contact with someone who does Let's Plays and who is interested in recording, whether they already have footage that maybe they could contribute, or if they have, or if they might just be willing and able to record high quality footage, that'll help as well.
I do not have a close personal contact, but I could maybe ask a YouTuber who is recording Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon right now.
Yeah,
if he wants
as long
to
as
donate some
as long as the
footage.
footage meets our standards, which for existing footage, like footage that is not being recorded explicitly for the archive, it's fairly flexible. Like basically,
Yeah.
we want it to be high quality, so like crisp, and not
Yeah.
blurry.
Yeah.
And we want it to be not if there's like layout elements, they shouldn't obstruct the footage
Yeah.
so that they can be easily cropped out.
Okay.
You have to
And we
retain
don't
all
want
of your
any kind
Pokemon.
of mods on stuff that's emulated. So like
Okay.
no randomizers. Like it has to be the base game,
Yeah. Okay.
and it has to be like the like HD mod or shader. I don't really know what it is, but like that can give like Sun and Moon or a Gen 6 game like
Yeah.
an HD look. We don't want that either. We want it to look
Okay.
the way
Just
the
the
game
base. Okay.
looks. Would you be willing to help out with footage for this project? This is an archive of Pokemon footage. Oh, Gano, yes, that's such a great idea. I will be recording some stuff myself.
You're doing the one we're working on. Did you just join Gano's competitor? What the
No,
Oh, you're doing ours. Okay, good.
yeah, I'm doing ours.
Okay.
But there's two.
No, Gano's in ours too.
Okay. I was actually like, wait a minute. There's two.
There's 5. It's a war of archives.
Yeah, but yeah, that's good. That's all we have for now, I think.
All right.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? I'll put Kingler and Krabby back on the screen. Any final thoughts, Ness?
They're crabs.
Oh my God! What a revelation!
they're crabs.
Cool.
The
Well,
giant enemy crab.
yeah.
Ooh, that looks good. Oh, I guess I've seen them before, but yeah. Bye.
Yeah, that's
Bye,
it.
Dada.
Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you on October 10th for the next redesign, and if you want to watch XD, that's on Wednesdays. That's it. Bye everyone. I'm Umbrian Libris. I'll see you in the next chapter.
Bye.
Hello?